sure do love the smell of coffee in the morning. But too much caffeine gives me a panic attack, so I don't drink it. Morning, YouTube. This morning, we're headed over to Wayland's. We're gonna pull the cutter off the back of his tractor, put the bucket on the front, and we're gonna scrape some gravel away from the side of the house so we can get that part done, so we can then bring the tractor and put the baler on it and then bring it over here so we can bale hay today. So let's go. Field's looking good and cured. After the dew's off of it, we'll be ready to wrap it up into little sushi rolls. Oh, I just realized I forgot some allergy medication. Hopefully I remember to do that before I'm out raking hay, because that could be the difference between a good day and a bad day. Hey, thanks for peeing in my wheels, dogs. Really appreciate that. I can hear the bulldozer going over there, shaping Wayland's yard. So we're gonna take this guy, we're gonna take the cutter off of it, we're gonna put the bucket on the front, and then we're gonna move some gravel. I'm kind of nervous, like I'm really hoping I'm not going to end up damaging the, anything around the outside of his house. This is a real nice tractor, but there's something about these with the power reverser that the clutch just, when you're in a real low gear, it feels like it's, it jerks really hard whenever you let it out. So you gotta be really easy, and I'm not up for tearing up somebody else's concrete, Well, I talked to Lonnie. We have a change in plans. We're gonna go ahead and just go hook the baler on and head over to my place, because he thinks he can get everywhere he needs to get with the dozer. There's just gonna be a little pile of dirt left for later, so let's go. Alrighty, we got the hay forks back on the tractor. We got this dirty old baler hooked on. We're headed to the house. Ow! Ow! So a funny fact, back where we just came from, like 2 days ago I was cutting hay out there and I mowed a skunk. I don't know if anybody else has ever mowed a skunk, but I mowed a skunk. It's awful. The entire field is absolutely terrible. End to end, it's just the strongest smell of skunk you've ever smelled. And when you make your lap back by where it was, it's terrible. I don't suggest doing that. You see a skunk, leave it alone. Well guys, rake's on, baler's on. Time to get out here and do a little piece and see if everything's gonna work. You gotta make sure it's all gonna work. You get out and you rake up all your hay and get it all ready to go, and then your baler decides not to work or something's tore up, you'll be real unhappy. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but got it raked. It's a little bitty spot back there. The best I've ever seen it make is probably a bale and a half, bale and 3/4, but I kind of doubt it's even going to make a bale this time. We'll see. But it's a good spot to start out and just test everything to make sure all the equipment's going to work before we have a disaster where we get everything ready and then can't do it. Oh, here we go. That was easy. Gotta turn this on. Make sure it don't go to bellowing at me. So I already had a few snafus this morning. We had a flat on the four-wheeler. Literally had a piece of Johnson grass stab its way through the front tire. It's crazy, real hard piece. But then I had to look everywhere for a plug kit, which turns out it was in the drawer, you know, organized where it was supposed to be, but I figured it'd be somewhere in my mess. So I looked for like 30 minutes before I just opened the door and went, oh, there it is. Away we go. Making bales. Really hoping there's not like half a bale in there. I didn't actually open it up to see, so I highly doubt there is. We always drop our little half bale. Matter of fact, I remember us dropping the half bale down at Langston. So, all right, 30 inches. We're halfway to a bale. This is a little bitty spot back here. As a matter of fact, when we first bought the place, before we started cutting hay, the people that were cutting it for us wouldn't even cut it. They said it was too tight. I get it, but I'm trying to make bales. Gonna put it on co-pilot for a minute.
You ready, Dilly? Huh?
We're on flat ground, but what do you think?
Wear a seatbelt anyways? For babies?
Look at there. Alright, here we go. Still haven't made a bale. Let you do this and I'll go rake.
Air conditioning probably better for little babies anyways, you know. You like driving big tractors? I like driving big tractors. If you buy yourself one of these, then we can do this together. You know. That'd be pretty cool. And then I'm concentrating. This is a big job.
Alright, big turn.
You're doing a good job though. Yeah.
That did not make a bale. Coming over here, I've already raked below the pond, and we're going to go ahead and do that, make sure that this baler is going to work. I don't feel like it's not going to, but you can't count on everything, you know. But what I'd forgotten is that for some reason the baler doesn't like the blue hydraulics. I don't know the reason. It likes the green, and so it wasn't wanting to open back there. But we're good to go now. Making bales. It made 2 3/4 bales between this field and the little one back there behind the house. So it's not great, but the baler's working and the net wrap's working. Everything's doing what it's supposed to do. It's not making any crazy noises. Got everything figured out. So away we go. Need to get out of this comfortable air conditioning and get out there where it's nice and hot. Believe it or not, we're right back in the air conditioning. I didn't even, woo, what's up with this? I didn't even take you guys along for the raking because, well, it's hot out there and I didn't want you to all get hot. I've gone around and I've made 4 trips around the outside of the big field. So that way I can bale all this up and I'll have plenty of room to go and turn around. I can do all my runs going across instead of having to go around in circles. That way I'm more apt to end up going this direction with when I have to drop a bale. If I don't, you know, if I'm sideways or climbing a hill or something, you run the risk of your bales running off in the woods. I don't know if it looks steep from here, but that side over there is pretty darn steep. If you can't tell by the way I'm leaning, we're on a hillside. But I set it up so that there's no way that I'll make a full bale while I'm down here on this hill. So I'll be able to get it and drop it where I want, up on top of the hill. Wow! I guess somebody pushed a tree out there a long time ago because there's a big hole in the ground. Well, there goes our first bale into the woods. There she sits. Oh well, I kind of figured it was going to happen. Usually, we got whaling baling. I didn't mean that to rhyme at all. And I'm out raking. So, today he's at work. I'm out here baling and raking. And then baling and then raking. And there's a baby bird. So, kind of different for me to have to do it all by myself, but it ain't that bad. I just kind of got to figure out a good rhythm so I can get it done without, you know, struggling. Is it supposed to smell like fart in here if you hadn't farted? We've made 4 laps around, so we got our ends nice and clean, so I can just go back and forth now. I don't know if you guys guessed in the last video, but so far we've made 7 bales. We'll see how many it makes. Well guys, if you did guess, I hope you picked a real depressing number, because I'm pretty sure the depressing number is going to win. It's thin. Not going to make nearly as much as I did last go around. We'll see what happens. Hang on. There it is, guys. The last bale. It made 12 and a half. I drove around everywhere trying to pick up as much as I possibly could to make that last bale. And I started at 50, and by the time I got over here to dump it, I was at 47 inches. So I think I did more damage than good. It's packed in there real tight though. But that's it. It's the last cutting for this year. Well, here anyways. We've got a couple other places that are down right now, and we're gonna have to go and rake and bale over there too. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to pound that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and God bless. Check you later.